Wine and Bubblegum, the show for women, all about women. Today's topic is abuse, and that subject is very heartbreaking, very touching, and a lot of women go through it and they just bury it. They suffer in silence. They don't even talk about it. They don't even know how to go forward and how to express themselves. But today, Kim is here to tell her story, how she recovered, and basically how her life is today. Your abuse was what kind of abuse?
My abuse was physical and mental abuse, because it was mental abuse before it actually got to physical abuse.
When did it start?
It started, I was in a relationship for 5 years. So 3 to 4 years into the relationship, things got a little rocky. I want to say that I caused it because I don't believe that women cause men to hit them.
Mm-hmm.
That is a decision that men make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like stuff that I would say, something to probably offend him, and some stuff that I would do, something to probably offend him. It started with a slap. It all started with a slap.
I know that's a few years ago, but could you remember exactly like that day? A lot of women get that first slap and just be like, okay.
In the beginning, I used to blame myself. In the beginning, I used to blame myself. Probably you said something to get him angry, or so. I guess that's my reason. The reason why I can't remember that slap. Gradually, the thing is that one slap can take it to serious abuse. One single slap can cause a man taking your life, or putting you in a position to take your own life. So I am here today because I want women to pay attention to these things, and hearing other survivors' story. Their story was basically the same thing, not the same. It happened the same exact way, but the abusers' traits are basically the same thing. So when you take that one slap, each time it gets worse. If you do accept that slap, make sure that you and your partner get the help that you think that y'all need. Because if you don't get that help, it happens to get worse each time.
I remember when you and I, when we was having a conversation before, and you talked today about sex, and you had said that what you believe that got him so hooked on you was the sex.
People tend to misunderstand the whole concept of sex, and when you sex a person, it becomes like a instant connection.
Soul exchange.
Yes, and I believe in soul exchange. I think that, sometimes we'll be sexing our partners in manners that probably get them a little obsessive.
I think you was doing something sexually that he never experienced before.
I could be right, or probably not. I could be wrong as well. But I honestly think that sex, the connection between sex can create obsession in relationships.
So you could tell us a bit of like the abuse, like how bad it was?
It was bad to that extent that he would not even pay attention to where he hit me anymore. He would just hit me anywhere. One day he had lashed me in my face. He went to lash me in my face, but he had his face fold. So I got the lash. I turned and I got the lash to my ear, and I could not hear out of my right ear for almost 3 months. I could not hear out of my right ear properly for almost 3 months.
Had like any broken bones?
It wasn't a case where I had any broken bones, thank God for that. But I had a lot of scars. I have bruises.
A lot of women get their stuff put in baskets or just put outside in the yard or whatever. Men love to pack your stuff.
We decided to move in together, but it was his apartment. I was there. He had asked me to leave, and I refused to leave. Always say, don't believe that everything get upset that you should tell me to leave. So I refused to leave that day. And I remember he packing all my stuff, and he placed them outside the door at first, and I still refused to leave. And he literally pushed me out of the door. And my stuff, he take them then from the door, at the front of the door, and threw them out in the road. And I was so devastated, Claudia, because there were people outside in the streets.
What really make women look over abuse and just say, well, okay, I'll forgive him. Okay, I forgive him. What you think makes women do that?
When you're in love with somebody, you try to look past all the bad and concentrate on the good. Because the thing is that the person could have 99 problems, and because you love somebody, you'll find that one particular reason to hold on to stay. And that is what I was doing. I would find excuses. I would say stuff like he was not raised like I was raised, and maybe I can help him become a better person. I will always find an excuse, so I will always find myself going back.
What were your children's reaction? Have they ever seen you?
No, my children never saw me getting abused, but there was a situation where he had came to my house and at my mom's house, and he came to my room, and he had a little argument there, and my door was closed, and he lashed to me, and my son was in the living area sitting. At that given time, my son was either 12 years old or 13. He brought out a side in my son that I never ever saw, because obviously my son heard that he was not 4 years old, that he do not know what's going on. And my son came banging on the door, and he said, open this door, you're in there beating my mother. So obviously my son did not see, but at the same time he was not a fool. At the same time he knew that he had lashed me. Because
Did your children and him have a relationship from the start, or it was kind of rocky and children were resentful?
the thing is, him and my children had a great relationship before he transformed into this other person. They had such a great relationship that sometimes the children will joke and say things like they want their last name and his last name and stuff like that.
How were you as a woman, like, towards your friends? Were you still being you, or were you more like in the shell? Did your friends realize that something was going on with you? Family?
There were one or two that knew what was going on. My family thought that it was a case that I just didn't want to leave. So they just removed themselves from the situation. And it was hurtful because they didn't know how much I was struggling to keep it together, but at the same time I wanted out. At the same time wanting out, at the same time looking at the fact that he needs my help. Like if I turn my back, like all those things went to my mind. So sometimes we see people in abusive situations, and people in general say things like, well, she didn't want to get help. No, she would have get help.
Yes.
Not even knowing how much the person is battling. Little do people know that it is a struggle, because here you are, you're in love with a person. The person is mistreating you to the point that they are mentally and physically breaking you down, but at the same time you cannot leave. You still love them enough. You love them enough to the point that you just don't feel that you're ready to give up on the relationship as yet. So that's why people say things like they don't want to get out and not knowing how real the struggle really is for some of those women being abused.
Was it telling on your kids with school? Did you see a change in them?
I saw a change in my children completely. Obviously, there's a change in me completely. So I let that impact on them as well. Obviously, that your behavior is going to change and it is going to leave an impact on your children. Because it's only last year my son said to me, Mommy, you are so much yourself now. Before, when you was in the relationship with, he said to me, you used to be so angry and then you would be shouting and screaming at us for no reason. And I didn't see it that way.
You thought that you owed him something, a debt, or he had a hold on you?
I thought that my thing is when you love somebody, because I had really loved him. I had really loved him to the point that I was willing to stay and help him get the help he needed. But the problem there is that he didn't think he needed help. So because he didn't think he needed help, me staying to help him was useless.
He had an obsession with you. And could you describe how it was?
Yes, I would say you're very correct. Because there were a couple of instances that I could not make sense of them. Like one particular time I had gone to work out. I would go a particular place and work out outdoors because this place had somewhere I could do step ups and whatnot. And I remember hearing his voice while working out. Who's I was talking to? And when I look around, it was him. He said, who's am I was not talking to? And I was lost. I myself did not even realize that it was an obsession. And even though I know that I was not talking to anybody, I still questioned myself. I said, who I was talking to? And I'm trying hard to remember who I was talking to. And then they said, I was not talking to anyone. And he said, I know. I was watching you for a while. I know you wasn't talking to anyone. I was just trying to see what you were going to say. After that, I did not work out for a while.
What was your experience with the sexual obsession?
This part of the sexual obsession was when he would beat me. He would beat me and then want to sex me. So obviously, you after being beaten and you don't want it on, you just don't want to go and have sex. And I guess that was his way of trying to make it better, but it was impossible. And obviously, I'm not going to sex him like I usually would because, burst my behind. And he would slap me or he would cuff me and say things like, I tell you what cut on it, or, and that was very hard for me to do.
Tell us about that day when you thought that was the end, that you were about to lose your life.
I had made it in my mind that I had enough. Me and him had an argument and he had put my things outside again as usual. I went home to my mom's house and I locked the doors and didn't go back home. And I remember him coming and shouting me, and I was inside my mom's house and he didn't answer. And I could hear him on the outside say, I know you're there, answer me. And I refused to answer. And I remember I heard this noise, this rattling. I was in the front on the ground because I laid on the ground in the front area so he cannot see me, so he can hear anything they're moving. And he decided that he's going to come to my bedroom, and I ran to the bathroom and I got myself in the bathroom. I said, well, I guess when he look around, he doesn't see anyone, he will leave. And he knocked at every door I could have hear him. He went on to the kitchen, he went on to the living area. And I don't know what told him to turn the bathroom off. He turned the bathroom off and realized it was locked. When he realized it was locked, I got so frightened. I could have feel the energy so strong, like this is it, like he picked up the vibe that you had enough, that you're ready to leave, and he's not going to let you leave so easily. He kept turning the knob and he said to me, I know you're in there. I know you're in there. Open the door. And he refused to open the door. And he tried to break off the door. Obviously, I at my mother's house. I don't want him to destroy anything. I turned it off and he slowly came out. From the time I came out, he had me by my throat, dragging. He dragged me to the kitchen. He had me choking. He dragged me to the kitchen. I thought that he was going for a knife, but he didn't. Thank God. And he was hitting my head constantly on the cupboard doors. He said, you just want to be right and wrong at the same time. You can't be, and you're laughing so. And Claudia, I swear it was one of those my life that day. And he beat me so long. All over my body, he beat me so. I don't know how I did not have any broken bones. At one point, when he punched me, the last punch he had given me, I just laid on there and pretend like I cannot move. Obviously, you know, I was breathing, but all that while I was praying. I was praying and he was praying. And he had I remember it yesterday, he had a pistol lock in his hand. And he telling me, you think you're going to leave, you think you're going to leave, Claudia. I swear I cannot take it anymore. I said, God, you know I can't take it anymore. You know I can't take it anymore. Just let him leave. Just let him leave. That's all I keep saying in my head. And he gave me another lash and he just got up and he just got up from over me. He said, look what you, because I was crying at this and he said, look what you met me do to you. Look what you, and that's another thing. Men that beat women say to women, look what you made me do to you. No, that's incorrect, ladies. I don't let any man make y'all feel that you are the reason they are beating you. I don't know if they pray, if the emotions came on him so heavy, he just got up, said, hey, look what you made me do, and he left. And I remember when I had gone to the doctor the week in front, when she had saw these bruises on me and stuff, and she had scratched and I was worn out. And I was to a breaking point. I felt like I was losing my sanity and I just broke down, told her everything. And she listened. And I remember she gave me this card and she said to call the number. I called the number right after he left that particular day.
This number was?
This number was for Women's Institute. It's for abused women. And I called, I made arrangements. I wrote a letter to my children and I left it in their room. And I also called my mom and I said to her, I am going to a facility for women. I did not get into details. She said she don't understand. I said, I'm going to a facility for women because I need help. She asked what kind of help. I said, I'll explain to you later. Deep inside of you, what was it that told King, I need help. I need to go. What brought me to that? I think I just had enough. I think it was too much for me it was way above my head then. Because like I told you, I stayed because I thought that I could have helped him. I was having suicidal thoughts. And a woman with children, I don't think that a man shall bring me to the point that I am willing to even think about taking my own life. Me will having my children to live for. I said to him, you need help. You need to find the help.
While you're in this facility, what were the steps from when you got through the door?
You have to be interviewed. Obviously, you're not in the state of mind to be interviewed by anybody at that given time, but those were the rules. You have to give your abuser's full name. You have to state whether you are willing to press charges or not. But they're not ever taking into their own hands to press charges. That have to be your decision. We, the women of the institute, you have to take classes. When I say classes, they're meetings. They're meetings to help you overcome, to help you, the women, overcome what you've been through. You share your story among everybody, share their story among each other. It's mandatory. You can't say that you're not attending the meetings. We have to take counseling.
When you got there, were you surprised at the amount of women that were there?
When you hear the amount of women that have actually passed through that center, you would be surprised. I mean, being at that institute for 9 months and no, the program is only for 3 months. Saw all kinds of women pass through that institute.
What ages?
Ages 40 and up. Women in Barbados, wealthy women in Barbados. I mean, like
Wealthy Bajan.
Wealthy Bajans, non-nationals.
A mixture of white, black.
Correct. Both white and black. Even deaf women that can't speak, was also in that institute.
You had also said that your children stayed with you at the shelter.
After my children came with me, it was a feeling like, because I couldn't do without them anymore. After 2 months in the facility, I could not live without my children anymore. That was more breaking my heart than anything else. After my children were there had to be counseled as well. Despite the fact that they did not see me actually being abused, but they had to be counseled as well. They had to take meetings as well for there were a kids meeting as well. And I must say that the institute really looks after the well-being of you and regaining your sanity and helping you to recover, because their goal is helping you to fully recover before you actually leave.
For sure, when you were in there, he was still trying to find you.
Yeah, he was still trying to contact me. He would change his SIMs to try to get in contact with me. Because they had the same number, so that my mom and them could get in contact with me. Even though I could have changed it, at one point I spoke to the head of the institute, and I explained to her that he's trying to get hold of me and so forth. And she made sure that I did not leave the institute without somebody being with me.
Oh, interesting. You could have go
and come back.
Okay.
You had a curfew time for 8 o'clock. Okay. Yeah. So you could go. You still could live your life as normal, but I don't suggest that any woman that has a man about Barbados looking for them to just pick up a room. Mm-hmm. So I never really would go out unless I need something important for myself or the children.
With him, he had got so paranoid that while you were in the shelter, you got a dreadful message from him.
I got a message because obviously he did not know where I was, so he somehow, with his thinking, thought that I was by a guy. And he said to me, I got a message saying, I am HIV positive. I am HIV positive, and you and the guy that you have to be HIV positive as well. This thing took a toll on me for weeks. I spoke to my counselor about it. She said to me, if that is the case, then you have to get checked. It's only right. You can't run from it. I made the decision to go. I made the decision to go to get tested. After being tested, I refused to go back for my results because I was so scared to go back for my results. My counselor said to me, well, I am going to go with you. I am going to be your supporter. I'm going to go with you. The doctor did not read my results. The nurse did. And she was going through my results and she was like, chlamydia negative, gonorrhea negative, because I got a full checkup. Gonorrhea negative, syphilis negative. And my belly, I still feeling like I need to go to the toilet. When she got to HIV, she said negative. And I broke down in tears because I could not believe that somebody was going to the extent of putting you through that. All because that they think that you ran away from them because you want to be with another man. Even though it was overwhelming, I felt a burst of joy. I felt a burst of joy because I knew then that I was not HIV positive.
What were the red flags that you should have paid attention to?
The red flags that I should have paid attention to were little obsessive things like when I go with my friends and you sure that you're going out with your friend and I'm not calling you all the time, and or women that I know of that when they go out they have to take a picture and send their guy, and that is not cute. That is actually obsession. So I think that I should have paid attention to those little tactics. You sure that you're going at the place I want? No, and to call me and those type of stuff and following you and all like disrespectful jokes. I don't even take a disrespectful joke from a man right now.
Were you pregnant for him during the relationship?
Actually, I was. That was a bit crazy too as well. And I was not willing to bring a baby into that because bringing a baby into abuse is downright crazy. I got a termination and I think that got him even more angry too. And so obviously that it had gotten worse from there. But I got a termination and yeah, I made it in the way he had to accept it. I was willing to take the risks I needed to take as well too because I don't think that I should have brought a child into that at all.
How are you today in the relationship? Do you approach it different? You have your values, what you stand for? Yes. Are you more open up? Do you trust men again? How is it now? Is it kind of difficult?
My way of dealing with things now is that I set a certain standard, my expectations, and I don't drop them for anybody. If you can't live up to them, then you can go. That is how I deal with it right now. I know what I've been through. I know where I've been. I know what I'm accepting and what I refuse to accept.
You had written a letter to your kids, which was personal. Yes. So could you share a line from that letter?
I had written a letter and had told my children that I am sorry that I had to leave, but so unexpected. But there's something that I need to do for me. There's something that I need to do for me, and as soon as I can get it under control, I will have you guys, or I will come back home. Not even realizing that I will have sent for them. because I was willing to leave them for the period of time that I was gone, but I couldn't do it. I said to them that then as soon as I get the help I need, then I will return home.
Oh, that was sweet. So, women early 30s, 20s, maybe some teens as well, older women. What would you say to these women?
Women, set a standard for yourself. Stop accepting anything less than you deserve. As far as abuse is concerned, never ever think that once a man started to hit you, that he will stop unless he gets the help that he needs. And if you, as women who had suffered with abuse and think that you don't need any help, I would say that you need help, because it hinders your life. It hinders all the relationships you get into. So I would say to women that with abuse, find the help that you need. Try not to bury it, because it becomes another burden and it makes you sick. It's unhealthy as well. And as far as the women that were not abused as well, but they have men that were not physical abuse, but have men mentally abusing them, that is the beginning of it. It goes from mental abuse to physical abuse. If your partner is not willing to get the help that he needs, then you need to get out of that relationship.
We just wanted women to know as well, yes, there are places where you could go to get help, and you got help, and it's a good example for other women going through the same thing, the same experience, that they can get help.
When I heard that you were going to show, I was very interested in giving my story, because I know there are a lot of women out there who is struggling the way I struggle, who is battling with mental, physical abuse, who have been raped and refused to speak on it, who have it all buried inside, and I think that is awesome what you're doing.
Anyone who wants to get in touch with Kim to answer any further questions, who may be going through something similar, can send an email and you will be contacted as soon as possible. Until next time.